hear me though?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Might show you that we're live before it shows me. It's kind of weird how this works. We're live.
Okay, all right.
So good. Happy Tuesday afternoon. It's Victory Tuesday. You know, Victory Day all week. We defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 34-3.
Mm-hmm.
They were on a 5-game win streak, which I believe was the longest in the NFL. And we showed up. Shout out to Steve-O. Said, hold my beer and watch this. I mean, what are your thoughts of the victory there, Damien?
It was a victory that was much needed at a good time. I mean, it put a lot of pressure on like Steve Wilkes to see, what he can do when he's around his players. You gotta build your bond with your team. You can't be like in the booth. You gotta be present. That's why you took the job. When you take the job because of what is asked of you, not what you want to do. And that's one problem that many people had with him because he was in his booth away from the team. And that's not how you build a bond with a team. But this was a much needed victory. I
And
wanted,
yeah, it's nice to get the taste out of our mouth, of a loss.
yes,
Honestly, I wonder if all the analysts and the reporters, everyone who was just hyping us up and saying this is the best team in the league, you know, throughout
mhm.
the 5-game winning streak,
But
did
see, you
it
don't
get
want.
to our players' heads?
I think it
Maybe they
did. I
swelled
think
up kind of like the Goodyear blimp, but then it became the Hindenburg, and then we
mm.
went on that 3-game losing streak.
Well, I wouldn't say we built. I'm not gonna
But
say it's like
I
the
mean,
the
there were
Hindenburg.
some adjustments made.
Hmm.
Everyone, Steve Wilkes to the sideline. I was just wondering if there was a communication issue between whoever's on the sideline calling Wilkes to talk about the adjustments they're going to make, blah blah blah. Is there something getting lost in translation here? You know,
Yes, like yes,
and
like
it honestly looks like there was something getting lost in translation.
the players. What was getting lost was the players didn't have that guidance there. There's a difference when you have a middleman. You have to take out the middleman. Some things get lost in translation, and since we performed better when he was on the field.
Why can't I hear Damien?
You there?
Okay, there it is. I can hear you.
Okay.
I was just grabbing my earbuds. Like, did it all of a sudden start working?
Uh-uh. No, you need to have your coach on the field. You need to have all your coaches on the field. I mean, that's how you be successful. You can't have people far away giving out orders that don't resonate right, especially with this like generation of players.
They giving out
So,
orders that don't resonate. Oh, there we go.
hmm
I have to turn that down. But Steve Wilkes ain't a high energy guy. But then you saw him, over there at of course, after a good play, hopping the players up. He had some energy. It looked to me like he had some energy. But either way, I'm just convinced now that there was some sort of communication error from whoever was talking to the players and then hopping on the phone and calling him in the booth to go, all right, this is what's going on. There was something getting lost.
yeah, he needs to be on the field. I mean, he really needed to be on the field. That means a lot more to some players. I mean, when you don't have your coach there, It's different. You got it's like a player's thing. You gotta have you is if you can look on that sideline, you can see him right there. You know that'll give you motivation. But if he's like way up, in the you don't have that connection. You don't have that bond.
Yep. Well, you know
So,
how you like in life, you'll say something, right?
hmm
And then there's emotion, there's more going on than what you just said, right?
hmm
Like you say it to someone in real life, then you text it to someone, and it means two different things,
yes,
right?
yes,
So this is where I think the communication error was happening. Is what our players were saying wasn't quite getting through to Wilkes in the booth.
because some people
And
it depends on what type of person you are. Because some people are visual, some are they listen. So if you have like a lot of visual players and they see their coach over there, that's what you have. They got to see him to perform. They can't. What Steve Wilkes must be is like a hearing. He wants you to hear him, but he won't see him, and that doesn't really work because some people are visual learners.
well, the first 5 games he did pretty good from the booth, but some of those teams did rack up some yards on us.
Hmm
Not a great amount, but they did rack up some yards on us. These guys had 225 yards, you know, and scored 3 points. So I do have to think that him just being on the sideline, his presence did make it some sort of effect. But the changes that were made on the defense, you know, we brought in Chase Young, which we pretty much put a third round compensation pick in the bank. That's if we let him go, for a season, and then we'll get that pick back, in what 2025 or
Yeah,
you,
25.
you know that's how that's going to work. So we pretty much just put that pick in the bank for a year if he leaves, and you never know what the Niners front office is thinking. We could end up extending him, but then that's going to make it hard to keep a guy like Ayuk or who else is coming up for contract. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yes,
Out of our core
and
players, it's Ayuk. So it might make it tougher to keep him. It might,
I wouldn't want to keep
but
him. I wouldn't keep him because this last game it shows you Kittle needs to be the focal point of that offense.
he
It needs
he he
it, need-
he
it
does too. There is no
when
linebacker in the league that can cover Kittle. There's not.
Kittle
I,
needs to
I
be
or
he
you know
needs to be
what?
out.
There is one, but he's on the 49ers. Fred Warner. He's on the
Yeah.
49ers. So what can you do, right?
hmm
But and the against the Bengals, he had 149 yards. So I'm honestly starting to wonder if someone in the 49ers front office is listening to us folk on YouTube because this is
hmm
the stuff we talk about. You know, I've been saying Oliver's hot garbage for probably 2 or 3 weeks. You know, we need to change him out. We need an upgrade at that position, right? And
Yeah.
then this last game. Now, it wasn't just me saying it, it was most of the content creators on YouTube. So there were a lot of folks saying that. And this time they brought in Ambry Thomas to play the boundary, and they
Uh-huh.
put Demo
Yeah.
Lenore
In the
at
slot.
nickel.
Well, yeah, nickel.
And which, if you looked at base downs, Demo was back in Ambry Thomas's spot. So my guy Ty Austin yesterday brought up a great point in saying that those are two different jobs. You know, playing the boundary, you got to worry about your guy. You got to worry, versus playing the nickel, you got to worry about your guy, play the run, and you're inside playing kind of faster receivers. So it's just like it is two different jobs. It is two different jobs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Lenore was bouncing back and forth. Honestly, think he did a really good job for what he did. You know, he did. Let a couple passes get by him. Yeah, he's not perfect. I don't think if you have a perfect cornerback in the league, let me know. All right. But the
Are
good
you
ones
ready to
you
move?
don't hear about. Let's be
Are you,
honest.
so are you ready to
You
move
know,
on from Isaiah Oliver? Just release him?
uh, I
Because
wouldn't mind.
I
I
mean, you
wouldn't
can bring
mind
back
putting them,
you can bring back Dante
on the
Johnson.
current free agent list. I wouldn't
Mm.
mind that, especially with Mack and Luter Jr. coming back. So Luter Jr., we don't know. We haven't seen him much on the field, so we don't know. That's a big question mark. But he's a speedy boundary corner, right? And then we have Womack, who doesn't necessarily have the size to play the boundary, but he's got the skill set to play the nickel. So, they're currently working them back into game shape. I don't know if they're going to be considered ready by, Tampa Bay or if it's going to be Turkey Day at Seattle. But I'm looking at those two games for those guys coming back. And you
Is
never know
anyone
what we're
going?
going to do with Oliver. He might
Are
end
any
up
one of those
being,
physical?
the best special teams tackler we got.
Mm-mm. Okay, because is any of those like physical tacklers, like corners or nickel? Because we're gonna have to go up against C.D. Lamb and Metcalf and whatever the Eagles have. They got guys you have to be physical with.
The Eagles have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I don't know
Hmm.
their other wide receivers. I know that's who they have,
Well,
and
AJ Brown is good.
I think they have a decent tight end. He's like a
Uh,
top 10 tight end.
yeah.
Um, and their biggest weapons the tush push.
So we might need to get something up in the middle for that on that DL line.
Well, you remember what? I don't remember what game it was. It might have been Arizona, or it might have been, or not Arizona. It might have been Minnesota or Cleveland. But they were trying that. They were doing the tush push, and Fred Warner straight came up the middle and said nope and denied it. So there is a way to stop the tush push. There's a way. But at this point, 49ers look fantastic.
Mhm.
We talked about the changes on defense. George Kittle needs to be a focal point. But what about our running backs, Damien? It was a heavy dose of CMC, and he did. He had a good game, 16 carries, 95 yards. But then, they sprinkled in some Elijah Mitchell, and he just does not look like he's the same running back.
Yeah, he can go too. We need to get. Do you remember when New York won that title against Buffalo, and they went with Hampton, Meggett, and Otis Anderson. Everybody had like 10 touches
Ooh,
apiece.
Dave Meggett, man, that guy was a
But you
speedy.
remember how that worked though? That worked. Everybody was fresh. Nobody got burnt out. See, I remember last year when CMC started to get burnt out in that Philly game.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Well, you remember 2019, we had Mostert, Tevin Coleman, and Matt Breida. And I would honestly hate to see CMC get wore down, injured. You know, any of these things I would hate to see. I would like to see a guy like Jordan Mason get more touches because I mean, 5.9 yards a carry, Kyle. Come on, man.
Who's that other
Elijah
running?
Mitchell's doing nothing.
Who's that other running back we have? One that we signed that's on the practice squad or something.
Jeremy McNichols.
Is he a power back or just a speedy guy?
He's kind of a smaller, speedy guy,
Let's
but
see.
he's got good hands. Like he can catch passes, catch out of the backfield.
Kind of like
Um,
Like a Devin Hester, like
no,
no.
not like Devin Hester, but he's a great depth piece. But for some reason, it's just CMC and Elijah Mitchell.
That's gonna burn us out right there.
I mean, I don't mind seeing CMC get 14, 15 carries. All right, we have been passing the ball a lot more though. Ever since we got Brock Purdy. This season specifically, we're not running the ball like we used to.
Do you want to go back to those ways?
And I would like to see us run the ball 35, 40 times a game. Kind of take the pressure off the young man, you know.
So you
And
want? Would you like to go back to the way it was when we was like run first, how we was with Jimmy, but have a better accurate quarterback? Because that's what I want to do. Like,
that's exactly what I want to do.
because
That's
I liked
exactly
it
what I
better.
want.
I liked it better when Kittle was the focal point. If you have Kittle as a focal point and you have CMC like in a slot or something, and you have Jordan Mason in the backfield, you good.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean, because that's what I would do.
Our wide receiver core, though, we got
Ronnie
Debo,
Bell.
Brandon
Oh,
Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, which he's a free agent. Ray
mm-hmm,
McLeod, he's going to be a free agent, right?
mm-hmm.
Then you have Ronnie Bell, who we have for the next 4 years, and for some reason Kyle isn't using him. I would love to see him on the field a little more. And then they brought up like Les Snead, and in all this, what's getting lost? Where's Danny Gray?
The reason why they have Snead is for his veteran experience, though. That's why they have him up on there. So, but
He's a good blocker, and he is a savvy veteran, though. He really
yeah,
is.
you need a veteran. But I'm ready to see
No,
who's
where's
our number.
Danny Gray? Where's our 4-3 wide receiver here? He's in his second year. Um, I know he started the year on injured reserve, and I
He does that.
don't.
I mean, did he gain his weight though? Because I know he was a little bit light last year. Did he gain his like football body yet? Because
Yeah,
when he
get his NFL body.
yeah, because he was
It's
kind of light
critical.
when because he was like about 150 something, 150 or 160 at SMU. You gotta be a little bit heavier than the pros.
I'm actually looking him up because I haven't seen him on the team. Southern Mississippi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 24 years, 199 pounds.
Okay, yeah. So he gained the weight.
And there's a Grant Cohen saying he's so much better than last year. This is on August 6th.
Hmm.
Expected to miss regular season time with shoulder injury. Hmm. Is he still on injured reserve? I mean, how bad was this?
I think it happened like about 2 weeks ago.
No, he's been on injured reserve since like literally the beginning of the season. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Injury report.
Because we need a deep threat that can catch the ball. We need
Oh
that.
my goodness.
We
Dude, having
need.
him out there stretching the field will help everybody out.
I mean,
He's
Because
not
I think right.
listed. He's not listed on anything. So what is going on here? This will tell him. This one should tell me if he's on injured reserve, if he's on, the roster. I know they opened up the practice windows for, Womack Attack, Luter Jr., and Ronnie Beal Jr., which I don't quite know why they opened up his practice window. I honestly think right now we're pretty much set at defensive end as long as everyone stays healthy. I'm knocking on wood, folks. Knocking
Yeah,
on wood.
I wouldn't mind adding another defensive tackle though. I really wouldn't. Just for safe, just for anybody. I mean, Sue or anybody, somebody in the middle.
Remember how we were, I was kind of thinking about DJ Jones. He's
Yeah,
kind of spendy for our budget, but still,
only
and
10 million.
Denver was not, they didn't trade anybody.
Mm-mm.
Now here they are. They've won 2 straight. They're 4-5. Shout out to the Bills, the pretenders. A lot of sports analysis people were picking them to be. Oh, the Bills are gonna come out this year. I got them in the Super Bowl. They got beat by the Jets and the Broncos so far, and 3 other teams. So
Never
it's
pay your
like,
quarterback that kind of money first. Never pay him that money.
Josh Allen, I'd say he's a good quarterback, and he is. And why do they have Quintrez Knight? This is not accurate. Knight's on the Arizona 53 man, just riding the
Yeah,
pine right now.
that's what we need right there.
Okay. I want to see the current roster though. You see, I'm trying to find the current one because it'll have the guys on injured reserve. And that will tell me if Mr. Danny Gray is still on injured reserve. Which I think he is, because they'd have to open up his practice window.
Uh-huh. You don't think the wide receivers we have right now can do it? Currently constructed?
I think the wide receivers we have right now are pretty good. And why? Wow, these guys are not showing. No one's showing injured reserve. Depth chart. But anyway, so we got Tampa Bay coming to town.
Uh-huh.
Baker Mayfield. There's talks that he has an injured finger. But
Yeah,
either
for
way,
making
I
making
kind
all
of
them
don't
bad commercials.
feel like I truly don't feel like it matters to me. Special teams. Wow.
I wouldn't mind having Mike Evans.
I'm on the 49ers. I'm on the 49ers website trying to see anything. Here we go. He is on injured reserve.
Is Dante Johnson on there too?
I know they worked him out. I don't see him even on the practice squad yet, though.
We just need it for the Rams
But
anyway. So
yeah, I mean, it's like what's going on with Danny Gray? So we have a problem picking players in the 3rd round, right?
okay.
Fred Warner, by far the best third round pick we made, or the Kyle and John has made.
Yeah, from this era.
And it's like the rest of them, Ambry Thomas, Trey Sermon, Terrell Davis Price, you know, the rookies, I'm going to have to give the rookies a gimme at this point, you know, just because Latu's on injured reserve, so we won't see him till next year. You know, but Jair Brown is currently not getting in the game except for on special teams. And then, you know, Jake Moody's our kicker. Yep. Was perfect yesterday. Shout out to Bryant.
Do you think this red shirt is hurting our team? All these rookies?
Yeah. How do rookies get better?
By experience.
Exactly.
I mean, you got
So
to play.
you sit them a season. They don't get real game experience. And then their second season is really their rookie season. And you just cost yourself a year of their rookie deal. Am I wrong?
Do you think his father's telling him to do this? Because I don't remember Mike Shanahan doing this in Denver.
I remember Mike Shanahan never started rookies. He would play them though.
What about it? What's that
But
running back there?
he never started them, you know. He would get them out there and sprinkle them in. But you know, in rookies, yeah, rookies make mistakes, folks. They're rookies. But at the same time, that's no reason to sit them a whole year and not get them game experience, not see what kind of impact a player can make his first year, right?
We could have really used Danny Gray. I seen a play. I think it was the Chargers where he was on special teams and he just leveled a guy. He has heart. He wants to play. But I think that was before he got up to like that 190 because he still looked like he was kind of small last year when he made that hit. But
he's pushing 2. He was 1 pound away from 2 according to what I was just looking at.
I mean,
but I'm just, you know, if he has a shoulder injury, he has a shoulder injury. But why isn't there any news on when they're gonna, you know, start his practice window? Or, you know, it's almost like Kyle's waiting for someone to get injured.
Because the way this team is constructed, after what happened Sunday, that's how we need to play every week. We need to start looking back at trying to find a number 2 tight end so we can have. You remember like Delaney Walker and what was his Vernon Davis.
Yep.
Because that's how we perform. You know, you have your two tight ends that can catch over the middle, and you have one speedy receiver on the end, and that's good. That's how we need to go back to. It's like he's trying to mix like the Falcons he had with a Matt Ryan with this, and that's not working because Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta had a tight end when he went to the Super Bowl. They just had, you know, those good wide receivers, but they didn't have no tight end.
I think didn't they have a good running back too?
Yeah,
you talking
they had
like
two.
when they had Chandler
They
at quarterback?
they had Coleman and they had Tevin Coleman and that guy from Texas,
Ooh.
that running. What was his name? Coleman, but
Freeman
and Coleman.
Wasn't it like a Freeman a running back and Coleman?
And Coleman. That's how we need to play. Our tight ends need to be our
Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did they have? They had Julio Jones.
Mohamed Sanu.
I don't know. That was a while back. But, so it's kind of, you know.
It's like he's trying to mix this nasty Frankenstein offense, and that's not how you do it. We need to get back to what we are. I mean, even when we had Bill Walsh, we had,
Run
Brent
the ball.
Jones. We had Brent Jones.
Mhm.
We had, Jerry Rice, but we had our two tight ends to cause problems. We had Tom Rathman too.
Yep.
But
Well, honestly, still, so when it comes down to it, I would love to see us run the ball, beat the
hmm
clock. We
hmm
have a quarterback that is better than James Richard Garoppolo.
hmm
And, what was it? So for the last 2 seasons, and, I barely started my channel this last summer, but for the last 2 seasons, I've been saying we just need a quarterback that's better than James Richard Garoppolo. We get a guy that's a step up from him, we're going to win some games, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's happened. We have a quarterback that is a step up from James Richard Garoppolo. And, his middle name is Richard too, folks. Brock Richard Purdy. You know,
Yeah.
the backup, just in case
How
y'all
many
don't
times?
know,
How many times do
Sam
you want?
Richard Darnold.
Yeah. How many times do you want him to throw the ball a game though? Like between 20 to 15,
Um,
somewhere in there. 20 to 15.
anywhere between 25 to 30, somewhere in that range.
I don't want a shootout.
And, you know, well, that's a shootout. You're throwing the ball 35 plus times, 40 plus
Mm,
times, right? And I think we actually average a little bit over 28 passes a game right
okay.
now.
So
And
why
when
not?
James was quarterback, I think we averaged 23. So,
I mean, I would love to go back to the power running football, the West, our true Niner football, where we beat you, but then we start throwing the ball. Be up by like what 24 to 10 at halftime, and then just kill the clock from there on out.
mhm.
You know, I want to throw the ball between 22 to 25 times a game. I want Brock Purdy sitting down in the fourth quarter.
Oh, dang. So we got I got a shout out in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Who in the heck? And yeah, I got to shout out the chat. We have all kinds of good people down in here, and it's like we got my guy Bryant. He always seems to be here. We got Randy Daytona. We got Steve O Supremo. Philly's special cards. Oh, Little Spongy. I know it's you, buddy. Then we got no border sports. Ryan. Shout out to our guy Ryan. Reggie
hmm
Bone, that's your guy there.
Hey, what's up, man?
And oh, there's Crazy Juice. Crazy Juice up in here.
There you go.
I know Tony might be watching, so I'll say good evening to Tony just because she might be watching. But oh, I'll check that out, Ryan. But at this point of the season, we got the Buccaneers coming up,
hmm
and then it's the bird hunt, kind of a gauntlet if you think about it. Our gauntlet. Every team seems to has one. Philly, they're
Philly.
about to go through there. They are about to go through theirs. They go to they play at Kansas City next week. So
That's the game
I'm
to
gonna
watch.
be
That's gonna be a game to watch right there.
unfortunately I'm gonna be rooting for the Chiefs.
Mm,
sorry, little sponge,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're not going to get the ones. We're not going to get the one seed if you keep winning games, right? But
You
our
don't think Dallas?
gauntlet, though,
You don't think Dallas can beat
I
Philly?
I think Dallas will beat them at you know Levi mid South. You know, I
Mhm.
think they will. I honestly think they will. They almost beat them at Philadelphia, choked big time. They had every freaking chance in the world to win that game. But
I don't know what's wrong.
yeah,
Dak
I
has.
think the Cowboys will take it their home game against them.
If they don't beat
And I
Philly,
think that
Dak is done. If they don't beat Philly, Dak is done.
oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of a must win for them because of their division too.
no, it's a must win for
But
him. It's a must
that's
win for Dak. He has to win these games
yep.
because that
But
guy that
well,
Jerry
anyway,
Jones. Go ahead.
so we're talking about Philly's schedule, and they do have some tough games coming up. They got the Chiefs, they got Dallas, they got us. They play the Bills. This is all in the stretch, not in that order though, folks.
Yeah.
There was one more I was looking at thinking, yeah, that's going to be a tough out. But then they still play the Commanders, and you don't know what that's a divisional game. You don't know what's going to happen there. And then I think they got the Giants twice at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, sorry, YTC, I can't count on your Giants, buddy. I wish I could, but so they have a tough 5 game stretch. We got the bird hunt, buddy. The bird hunt. Time to get our foul license and
Hmm.
get the bird shot out. And go for it.
No,
And
duck hunt, baby.
it all starts with Seattle at Seattle on Turkey Day. That's gonna be a tough game, man.
You don't think we can get to Geno Smith?
I'm not looking past Tampa. It's one game at a time, folks. Still
Okay.
got to beat them to get there. But that is going to be a tough game.
You think so?
Oh yeah, Pete
I
Carroll
think
always has something for us
oh,
at
we can handle
Seattle.
that.
At Seattle. 100% we could handle that. I don't see why not.
All we have to do is just keep hitting Geno. Just keep hitting
You
him.
don't even have to hit him. You just have to put some pressure on him, and he'll make an error and throw.
Mm-mm. No.
And what did we just do? We just got Chase Young. So yeah, honestly, I like her. I'm at first I picked it as a loss, but at this point I'm liking our chances from what I saw.
Yeah.
But it's only a one game. It's only a 1 game sample. So I'm
Well,
gonna need to see this defense do this again
it's going to get
next week.
better. It's going to get better, and Chase Young is going to have more time to learn the playbook. He's going to hurt Geno Smith, and he's going to hurt Baker Mayfield.
I'm hoping so. I would love to see a quarterback sandwich. Both on one side, Young on the other, and the
Yeah.
quarterback being the meat. It's just I would love to see it.
I mean,
And but anyway, so we got Tampa coming up. They do
hmm
have that veteran defense. I'm a little worried about, you know, just because of all the veterans they have on it. Their wide receivers, you know, they got Mike Evans and Chris Goodwin or Godwin,
Godwin.
right?
Yeah.
And they're pretty good wide receivers. Their offensive line, I think they
hmm
have good tackles, but their inside guys aren't that hot.
Can they run off a score on you quick? You think they could?
I don't. I I'm gonna.
So
I don't think they're. I think they're gonna have problems moving the ball on us. I think Steve Wilkes making the adjustments that he made. Bringing Ambry Thomas,
hmm
play more press man on the early downs versus the soft zone, and that is giving our pass rush time to get there. I was saying, like, during the bye week, I think it was on the Niners Coast to Coast that we need an extra quarter second because all these guys that are getting the ball out in 2.5 seconds or less, that they're being effective, right? But Dak averaged 2.79 seconds to get the ball out, and he got sacked 5 times. So I haven't seen the numbers for Trevor Lawrence yet. He got sacked 5 times.
Yeah.
But he wasn't getting the ball out really fast because our defensive backs were playing up on the wide receivers. So, the adjustments Steve Wilks made during the bye week were very effective in the first game. I would love to see this happen consistently, though. Us hold a team to, 200, 250 yards or less.
Do you like the rotation of how he did the defense though? How he kept the players fresh?
That's exactly what happened too. Look at our D line. You saw all the interior guys in there, all 4 of them that were
Mhm.
active. They were rotating in and out. Chase Young didn't start.
No.
It was still Cleveland Farrell, and all of our defensive ends that were in the game, which primarily it was Bosa, Young, Cleveland Farrell, and Randy Gregory, were all getting there. You
And that's
know,
perfect. And that's perfect. That's how it needs to be.
it is how it needs to be. But this all brings up one question. So Drake Jackson, you know,
Hmm.
3 sacks in the first game. He's there. He does occasionally make a play, but we haven't heard his number called so much, right? Since.
Hmm.
And now they put him on injured reserve with a tendonitis issue, which there really could be something there, folks. I am not discounting this at all. He could be injured. But do you think that the Niners bringing in Chase Young and doing that to Drake Jackson may have brought out the human self-preservation instinct in the rest of the defensive linemen? And that's what we saw yesterday?
No. I think what it brought out was that missing gear that we didn't have. The gear that Chase Young has that Randy Gregory has. It's just like you look where Chase Young was drafted. He was number 2. And look where
Number
Randy
2
Gregory.
overall, just like Bosa. Just like Bosa.
Look where Randy Gregory was drafted. We need that extra gear. I think, later as I think by in like 2 or 3 weeks, Chase Young is gonna be starting. Then we're gonna have another question. Which one of the other defensive ends is gonna have to go? Because I like Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory is very wiry. I like that.
Well, honestly, I think that's why Cleveland Farrell stepped up and was all up in the quarterback's face yesterday too. Because we got this guy coming back named named Robert Beal Jr. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
I don't see us taking him off of injured reserve.
Hmm.
Unless they want to go for the whole 5 defensive end, 4 defensive interior linemen, which has been historically what we've ran since we had Robert Saleh as our DC. But right now it's pretty much 4-4. We have eight linemen.
Four on
And they
four.
do have Kalia Brown. Kalia Brown, he's chilling. He's got his NFL body. He's ready to rock. But
Clear Davis or Clear Brown?
and he's just inactive though. He's a healthy scratch.
You said
So
you said Clear Davis?
Oh, Kalia Davis. Did I say Kalia Brown? Oh my goodness. My bad, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kalia Davis. He's a
Oh,
healthy scratch, so every week. But
why
he
is
has
that?
his NFL body. He's ready, you know, and it's kind of strange. But right now, last year we had the NASCAR package, and the year before that, when we would bring in an extra defensive end, take a interior lineman out, leave Armstead into pass rush, and then we're pass rushing with three edges, right? This year we haven't done that because we have Hargrave. He's a great pass rusher, and Armstead the last couple weeks has stepped it up though. Last couple games, so I honestly don't see us using Kalia Davis for the rest of the season unless barring injury, and I'm knocking on wood because I sure don't want to see anything that bad happen.
So you
Not
don't think
right
we
now.
need? So you don't think we need a nose tackle then? Nobody.
That's exactly what Kalia Davis is, and but he's been inactive every game, you know. And at this point, look at what we're paying Armstead and Hargrave. You know, Hargrave's kind of, he's a shorter guy. I think he's 6 foot. Was he 6'2", 310?
Yeah.
He's about the same size as Kalia Davis. So if anyone's our nose tackle right now, it's him. But I'm just looking forward to seeing this defensive line collapse pockets.
But were you really impressed? I mean, because when I saw, Young and Bosa, Hargrave and Armstead, they collapsed real good.
Yes, they
That
did.
line, that line collapsed real good,
And
and
contained, though. And contained.
it looked like it can solve the problem against running quarterbacks. I noticed that a couple times when Trevor Lawrence looked like he wanted to run, and that they said nope.
Well, before when everyone was pass rushing, they were trying to get to the quarterback and it would leave a gaping hole in the middle, and the quarterback would just squirt out and go up, right?
Hmm.
And at this point, Hargrave and Armstead were staying in their lanes, rushing the passer. And while Bosa and Young were like almost sandwiching the passer. And then that was like, I mean, what can you do? Even
Wait till
Cleveland Farrell and Randy Gregory, when they were in there at defensive end, they were almost getting to Trevor Lawrence. But the Jags O line isn't one of the best in the league like the Eagles are. You know, the Buccaneers, they have, like I said, two good offensive tackles, but they're going up against Bosa, Young, Farrell, and
Hargrave,
Gregory.
yeah.
So their offensive tackles are going to have some issues. But at this point, Ty Austin said it best yesterday. You ain't chipping Bosa and doubling him every time now, because you better worry about the other side.
We have our
And
front four now. We have our front four.
yeah,
Just give it a little time. Give it a little time to jail. Cause
I liked what I saw yesterday.
I
I
did.
really did. Well, not yesterday,
I
Sunday.
mean
You
Sunday,
know,
Sunday.
Sunday. I really did. And as long as we keep doing that, I'm happy. As long as the defense keeps being stingy, giving the ball
Hmm.
to our offense, it seemed like those first five victories, we never came out and just punched someone square in the mouth in the first half and got up big, and we go into halftime up
Yeah.
But then we'd come out in the third quarter, and that's when we'd punch them in the mouth and start putting the game away, right?
Hmm.
That's kind of what we did Sunday. Because, we came out the third quarter, started punching them in the mouth, went up, and kept going. We could have we could have had a 40 burger in this game, but we were trying to get CMC a record. It was like it was going to be his 18th
17.
straight game with a
Yeah.
touchdown, but that didn't happen. So, and Jacksonville knew what was going on and they teed off on it to keep us out. But we could have had a 40 burger on these guys. You know, a team that's what 6-2 at that point. I think they're 6-3 now,
Yeah.
but 6-2 on a 5-game win streak. At their house, and there was a Jaguar fan leaving, and I think you might be able to find this video on Twitter.
Hmm.
But he's leaving, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm out. You guys got this. That's your house." That's literally what he said. You know, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy too." It flashed over. There's like an older 49er fan just kind of walking out with a big old grin on his face. And he's like, "Yep, you guys got this. That's your house."
How did
It's like
Ayuk look to you? How did he look to you in that game?
there were a couple times he was wide open downfield and Brock just didn't see him. And it could have been, you know, Brock's not the tallest quarterback in the league, right?
Mm-mm.
Could have been he just didn't see him, over those big honking offensive and defensive linemen, right? But there were a couple times he was open downfield. He probably could have had around a 100-yard game if Brock would have seen him and hit him. But he looked a lot better yesterday, even only having 55 yards. Not yesterday, Sunday. Why do I
Sunday.
keep doing that? Then the previous game, Cincinnati, when he's dropping like some critical passes,
See,
and it's like it honestly looked like it looked to me like he's trying not to do it. He's putting in work, and for the rest of the season, if we see improvement, occasionally dropping a ball, I think every wide receiver in the league does that.
yeah.
No one's perfect. No one's perfect, right? But occasionally dropping a ball is acceptable. Just not in critical situations, not when you absolutely have to have that yardage to get a first down to keep the drive alive.
Who's your number one
Um,
receiver right now on the team? Who's the number one receiver? It's Kittle.
we have we
It's
have a number
Kittle.
one.
It's
It
Kittle.
is. It
It's
is. It
Kittle.
is. The last two
The
games,
way
149 yards, 119 yards.
when Kittle is the focal point of the team, we play games like we did Sunday. When you try to play to like Ayuk and Debo, that's how those first 5 games are. Where we get like them, 21-10 leads in the first half, and we got to like really beat them up to get the ball first in the third quarter. I like the way we played Sunday when the ball goes through Kittle. Let the ball go through Kittle and put CMC in
Mm-hmm.
a slot, and then let and
JP Mason in the backfield. Maybe even Juice in case we need a
no,
pass block.
no, not
I
Juice.
said in
What's his
case we
name?
need a pass blocker.
No, 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 no. I was thinking about Mitchell because he always has that one game. I mean, do you want to save that one game for the playoffs, or you want to save it for the regular season? I mean,
I don't know if he has that one game in him.
you don't think so?
What I've seen, what we have seen since he came back from injury. He does not look the same. He almost looks like he's kind of jittery.
Is he getting near Jalen Hurd territory?
No, no, he don't touch the practice field and he's out for the season. He's not that bad. But
I mean,
you know,
because he's taking up a roster spot. He's taking up a roster spot.
he really is right now. And
I thought the
it,
Trent Baalke days was
he
over.
just doesn't look good. He just doesn't look good, man. And it's hard to say exactly what he is. I wonder. We're gonna try something a little different here.
I mean, was he really faster than Matt Breida?
Who?
Was he faster than Matt Breida?
Um.
I don't think so. I think he just
Ooh, look at that.
punched it.
You can actually see the gray.
I know. I mean,
But what? Faster than Matt Breida?
not healthier.
No.
Not healthier.
Mm-mm. Matt Breida was injured too, a bit here and there. You know, he was. He was
Yeah,
injured a
but
bit here and there.
he got. I'm so surprised that Kyle hasn't called Tevin Coleman back. Knock on wood.
It could happen.
No, don't
It could
say that.
happen. Hey, we have Jeremy McNichols on the practice squad, so I think he's the next man up. You know, at least I hope he's the next man up.
I mean, like I was saying, I'm just happy that when we get the ball to Kittle, we look better. We look like a championship team, and that's how it needs to be.
That's true. That's
I
true. We
mean,
do. But hold up. So we're talking about them, targeting Kittle. What was
yeah,
another big difference yesterday? The man was back. We had the
Trent
silverback,
Trent was
the
back.
offensive lineman that could probably play tight end if he wanted to. I mean, you saw him running. You saw him
Hmm.
running downfield. Supposedly he has a sprained ankle, and he looked pretty nimble for having a sprained ankle, in my opinion.
Can he pull?
You
Can he
know,
pull a fridge Perry?
I Trey Williams. Oh yeah, oh
You think he pull?
yeah.
He could be the fridge.
I think he could be easy. I would. I wouldn't mind them bringing in Jalen Moore and having him play left tackle to run Trent Williams. You know, how are you going to stop it? It's like number 31. That I know you saw that
Goal line
play.
play. Goal
Jaguars
line
number
play.
31. The guy
Hmm.
that said, "Hell nah," made a business decision and ran away.
No, thank you. Uh-uh.
Yeah, he's like, "No, no, I'm good," and he
That's
just
okay.
ran away. He's like, "I want nothing to do with that."
Mm-mm. No, thank you.
I can't blame him. You know,
No, but you was impressed how we won the game
if I
though.
was running up like that and I had the decision, I'm
Mhm.
not the biggest guy on the planet, but if I have to take on Trent Williams, I would. I'm not saying I'm going to win, probably not,
So you
but
think that could be
you
our
know,
goal line play right there?
hey,
Anything
well,
inside?
number 31 of the
Anything?
Jacksonville Jaguars said, "I want to play
Mm-mm.
next week,"
Mm-hmm.
and he just took off. He's like,
All my
"Nope."
bones are healthy.
But
Mm.
it was so great to see Trent back out there, though. You know, and he didn't. The great report is he didn't re-aggravate anything. It's all still, in the healing process. No pun intended, folks.
Did Jalen Moore look?
But
Were you impressed with Jalen Moore?
when he filled in for him,
Yeah.
I honestly think he played pretty decent.
See, like the
I
offense
was
just didn't miss a beat.
expecting I was expecting worse. I was 100% expecting worse. You know, I wasn't expecting much from him. And so he outperformed my original expectations. I'll say that.
because
But
you can
we're
you
talking
can
about
rest.
tackles. There is
Yeah.
news. There is
Yeah.
news regarding our right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He has an ankle/knee injury, and he is day to day. Colton McKivitz.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
And Matt Pryor is his backup. I kind of feel like we should slide Jalen Moore in if we need to put someone in. That's how impressed I was with Jalen Moore when he played.
So you putting Jalen Moore at the right,
He wasn't great. He wasn't
but
terrible.
he just kept the ship afloat.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Exactly.
all you
That
do.
that's all a backup has to do. They have to be serviceable, you know. And he came in. I really think he did a good job for being a what is he, a 5th round pick?
Mm-hmm. So you do that. What about the center? Because I think that's Brock Purdy's problem is that center that
I,
center's getting overpowered.
there are definitely plays where you see him getting overpowered
Because
when his strength is helping someone double team someone, or even if Burford Banks, or right now it's Burford and Feliciano. If they have their guys covered and Brindle goes and hits a linebacker, he's going to do good. But you put Brindle one-on-one against a defensive tackle or a nose tackle, he's not winning that matchup. And Brindle's average.
yeah,
He's
average.
just maybe slightly above average. I'm not going to knock him too bad. He's not the greatest center in the league, but he's definitely not the worst. Um,
Can he win you a game in the playoffs?
Brindle? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Mm.
I think he's going to need some help with that. But I mean, we get Banks back. Who knows when? Turf toe is a funny thing, kind of
Yeah.
nasty injury. But
Because I want to see.
what
I
do you
want to see
think
what.
about this?
Go ahead.
When we get Banks back,
Mm-hmm.
he comes in, he's playing left guard. What
Mm-hmm.
do you do with Feliciano?
I'm putting.
Because
I want to put.
he put him in at right guard,
Mm-hmm.
center.
I want to put him in
I,
center.
I like Burford. Don't get me wrong. I like Burford, but I expected him to ascend, and he's kind of at the same level.
I
But
want to see him at. Go ahead. I want to see him
he's
at
at the
center.
same level. It's kind of, I want to see him ascend, get better.
Yeah.
And he's kind of tailed off. You know, if he cuts down on the penalties,
Yeah.
and that's the big thing with Burford. If he cuts down on the penalties, then he will be doing better.
Yeah, but this is the
But
wrong time to play in those games, though. This is the wrong time. We should have started that at the beginning of the year.
and it's almost like if Feliciano plays good enough, because Feliciano's not a great guard. He's good, and he's limited physically. He's not the most gifted big fella out there. He's not Trent Williams. There's hardly any men
Mm-mm.
like him on the planet. Okay, but he's the type of guy that makes good decisions, takes the lesser of the evil, you know, and that's what he's gonna do. So in I don't see him getting penalized like Burford is.
How
So
do you how do,
I could see Burford sliding into that backup guard role and
backup guard?
Feliciano going to the right side.
How do you fix a player that makes continuous penalties, though. How do you fix that? This is about to be week 9.
Bench him and tell him he's got some work to do. What else is there to do? You know, it's like the coach obviously has been working with him, and every week it seems like he's getting penalties. Last year he didn't get as many, but
What's the
last
difference?
year he was kind of
What was the
him
difference
and
between this year and last
Brunskill.
year, though?
Him and Brunskill were swapping out, so he doesn't have the snaps last year that he's getting this year, right?
You think Kittle might been in his ear?
Kittle needs to get in his ear, ain't he, Captain? Isn't that his job? You know, go, bro, got knock it off with the penalties, man. You know, we're starting off behind the sticks. That's not good.
God, because we getting to the point we can't be making these like little mistakes anymore now. You know, we.
That's true.
I mean, that stuff. That's the kind of stuff you make in weeks 1 through 6. You don't make those kind of mistakes now. This is where you hit your stride.
Reggie Bone, please knock on wood, man. Putting our he's putting the betting the how many points were favored by and stuff in the chat. Please knock on wood, man. Please. But the over
I
under
mean,
total is 41.5. Huh. But I would probably bet the over on that one.
I just want the offensive line to give us 3 seconds. I know that's a lot, but just give us 3 seconds.
Yeah, and in college they got 3.5 seconds. They better get that ball out, right?
Mhm.
In the NFL,
It's like
you
have like two.
literally have 2.5 seconds to get that ball out, or you're going to be starting to be in some trouble. Like Dak Prescott taking 2.79, got sacked
Mhm.
5 times. Like I said, I haven't seen how long it took Trevor Lawrence to get the ball out, but I guarantee you it's going to be somewhere in the 2.6 to 2.8 range because our defensive line was getting there. You know, they were getting there. They were all over him. The thumbnail for this video was actually, Bosa and Young kind of sandwiching, sunshine,
Yeah. By
sun
in
wasn't
like
shining,
in like two
sun
more
wasn't
weeks,
shining.
that line is going to be jailed. That line is going to be jailed. And that's when poor Geno Smith's going to suffer.
Hey, Randy Gregory, getting mixed in a little more. He's getting more acclimated.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got new guy Chase Young. He's going to be doing the same thing. Although talent level wise, Chase Young probably has more than Gregory, but Gregory's good.
Yeah, he's
I like
good.
Randy Gregory.
He's
I
very
like him.
wired. He's very wired. I told you about him.
Yep.
He was like, you remember when we had a Taco Charlton?
Ooh, I remember when we signed him and had
Yeah,
to put him on the.
Taco
Whatever
Charlton.
happened? I think
He
they
got
ended up
hurt.
giving him an injury settlement or
Yeah, he
something.
got hurt. I would bring him back. I really would. I would bring him back.
Dude, we had that the interior guy that was doing really good in the preseason and camp, Marlon Davidson, right?
Yeah.
They cut him and Coletto at the same time.
And they kept Elijah Mitchell.
Oh, hey, we're not in the front office. if we were, Elijah Mitchell would be, trade deadline. It would be like, hey, who wants this guy? 6th, 7th round
Miami,
pick.
Miami.
They somehow Mostert is staying healthy down there.
For now.
That's something that we need to figure out. It's
No.
kind of,
Remember, the turtle beat the hare.
I know. Man, the hair is fast.
I don't care. You can... Name me a winning team that Miami has beaten. I hear crickets.
I knew I had one in my apartment.
No. They can have Miami can have all our speedy players. They can have all of them. But I just want this O-line to gel. Because I know the defensive line is going to gel. So I just want the offensive line to have the right pieces. And if you sold on Jalen Moore, that's fine. I just want to see the rest of that right side fixed. Whatever makes it work. I want to start from the center and work right. Because I know Trent got his side.
Hey, remember, we'll be talking about that stuff this offseason. We have all our draft picks. Well, minus the 3rd round compensation pick, but who needs those?
No.
Who needs those?
We don't need those. Because we don't need all those.
We have that their 1st and 2nd round draft pick for the first time in a couple years. So who knows what we're going to do with it?
I know what I want to do.
I know what I'd want to do. Offensive line.
Right tackle.
I'd go as far as to say right tackle and right guard, or possibly the best center in the draft if he's sitting there in the 2nd round.
I wanted that last year. I wanted that Humphreys guys that went to Kansas City. I wanted him. I think he went in the 2nd round. We picked up somebody over him. I was mad as hell.
There was an Oregon center, Alex, that's like Forsyth or Fourth. He had a weird last name. He's actually what I think he was a Jacksonville Jaguar, but he was listed as out, injury. I kind of liked him.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few centers in the draft, like this Juice Scruggs guy.
Yeah, I remember seeing him.
A lot of scouts beat up on him, and he's way better than they thought he would be. So, draft's full of hit and misses, buddy. Full of hits and misses.
Woo.
But
it's good. It's good to have a 1st round pick back though.
So like Reggie Bone was saying, that's right, Bryant. F those picks. But like Reggie Bone was saying, and I'm going to be knocking on wood as I'm speaking, folks, because I'm paranoid about this. We are 11.5 point favorites against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And our over-under is 41.5. So,
what you think the score is going to be?
Yeah, crazy juice. Oh, is he on the Donkeys? Dang it. Jake Moody. What about Jake Moody? Yeah, he's a 3rd round compensation pick.
I mean, because I have us beating Tampa Bay 31-13.
I could see it being around that score because of those wide receivers Tampa Bay has. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
They'll get one, and then they'll make 2 field goals, and that's it.
That's kind of how I'm seeing it.
Because I
would love to see our defense pitch a shutout though, but chances of that happening in the NFL are real slim, folks.
I think once we get up 14, once we get up 14-3, that's when it's over.
Once we get up 2 scores on Baker Mayfield and he starts getting that, I gotta pick my team up and carry him as that's when we're gonna start making plays.
Mm-hmm.
And
Start teeing
and
off on.
he's not terrible. He's not terrible. He's just not good. He's mid.
He's average. He's average.
Yeah.
He's 500.
Yeah. Although the commercials that he made when he was with the Browns
Thank
were
God
pretty
they're
funny.
done. Thank
They
God
were
he's done.
funny. Come on.
I like the one when the power went out.
Yep. Those commercials were. I honestly thought they were funny. I was laughing at them. Then I'm sitting there going, he hasn't done much. Like, why are you guys having him make commercials? But it's cool. I saw James Richard Garoppolo in a commercial. Don't remember
Subway.
what for.
Subway.
Well, I saw that one with his mom. That one was kind of funny. But
Really?
no, he was in another commercial for another company. I was watching it came on during the games on Sunday. I don't remember the company because I was just like I wasn't paying that much attention to it.
Was it for hospital visit?
I was surprised to see it, but it's cool.
Yeah, good for him.
Maybe
Good
he
for him.
can, make commercials for a certain Korean car brand.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But all right, so shout out to our defense. They played a hell of a game. Offense did their thing. Could have had a 40 burger, but didn't. That's okay. We still won by 31 points.
We still have the rest of the season for that. We have the rest of the season.
Yeah. We got the bird hunt coming up. Next week we got some pirates sailing to town, and we just got to sink that ship and make them swim back. That's all we got.
How did our third linebacker look?
Oren Burks. He's really not a bad linebacker. He's pretty good.
He makes good veteran key plays. That's not they very indiscretion. Right. Experienced veteran moves, like experienced playoff move, and I like that.
He's definitely a veteran, but he's kind of a free agent.
Those kind of moves those are moves that get you wins in playoffs.
That's true. That's true.
It's all it takes is
behind him. Behind him.
Mm-hmm.
We have D. Winters, and Jalen Graham, guys with sideline to sideline speed. Shout out to our rookie, linebackers for getting excited and jumping on the field while Ambry Thomas was running down it with the ball.
Ooh, bye, Isaiah Oliver. Bye.
They're young. I'm not griping at them.
Take Elijah Mitchell with you.
I just hope I just hope they're not going to do that again. They hope they learn their lesson, right?
Yeah, that's hard.
They got excited. Excited. They're young. It happens, right?
I like D. Winters.
Shout out to my daughter. Where's my finger? That card right above my finger. That's actually one of her softball cards, folks. She's on my fan cave. Yep. I sent her a picture, so she just so she'd see it and know.
Oh, it's because it's kind of cutting off. It's like half your picture on your screen.
Oh, I know. I went with it's crop layout is what this is called. Just wanted to make our faces a little bigger. It's okay.
Yeah,
You
getting
know,
older.
shout out to Ryan. He sent me a background, and I'm going to work on that when we get off here. I'm going to check that out. You know, get it downloaded and ready to
Yeah.
rock. But do you have anything else? Anything
No,
else
I'm
you want to
impressed.
say?
I was just impressed with the defense. That front four pressure made me good.
It really
With
was.
the way that front four played, now it's time for the bandwagon members to join.
Yep.
Because now we're going to hit our stride at the right time.
Hey, one day, way back in the day, I was a kid, living in Utah, watching football on Sunday, not really had a team. And I watched this 49ers team win a Super Bowl, and I was like, ooh, I like those guys. So, in the mid 80s, folks, I was a bandwagon fan. But that was the mid 80s. You know how long ago that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I'm a,
pushing close to 40 years at this point. So I think I'm just a little past the bandwagon right now.
I I was born in the 70s, so yeah. Yeah. I like the front four. I like what we have.
But yeah, all right. Well, it's time for me to get out of here. I got to do
All
that
right.
work thing early in the morning.
Same here. Same here.
Got to work for a living.
That's right.
If I was rich, I would probably be having this broadcast from like Levi Stadium, one of the suites with the. That's just
Yeah, I
if I
have it
was
at
rich.
Levi South. I have it at Levi South.
I like the
But
Joe Montana jersey in the background there, Damien.
I know, man. That's when I started.
Yep. All right.
Sorry, Steve. Sorry,
So,
Steve Berg.
oh yeah, Steve DeBerg. Honestly, you do remember that Joe Montana? Well, I know you know this. I don't probably
He
not
he
say
took
it.
his job from him twice.
He did. He didn't start his rookie season. Bill Walsh kind of sprinkled him in here and there, and then the next season is when he said, "This is mine."
And then guess what happened when we went to Kansas? Who took Steve Berg's job in Kansas?
Oh, was it? Did he? Oh.
Oh,
Man, poor Steve
horrible.
DeBerg. Oh well. Hopefully
Yeah,
Joe did something and took good care of him. Sorry,
yeah, he
buddy.
did.
Mm, my bad.
Whoops. What's that song by
All
Britney
right,
Spears?
folks. Brit. Oh, oops! I
Whoops,
did
I
it
did.
again. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
But all right, folks. So it's always go Niners and
Hmm.
F the Lambs.
And beautiful